Alright, y'all. I gotta do a little bit of multitasking, so I figure we can have this conversation. We're gonna be talking about Invincible from the perspective of a Dragon Ball Super fan. Okay? From the perspective of a Dragon Ball fan, I can't help but critique Invincible for a number of things. One, the Viltrumites want to be Saiyans so damn bad. Okay, and they kind of split that likeness up with Alan and giving Alan the Zenkai portion, but it's all good. I just think it was kind of stupid that in order to substantiate that they were a race of warriors, of tough niggas, that they basically say, hey, we committed to the purge, the great purge. It made us stronger. And it's like, yeah, you damn right Nolan better have been tough as hell on that, little Viltrumite that he was asking the questions to at the study time. You damn right. He intensified his grip on their head before they answered that question. And the reason why I felt like that was because the Viltrumites wanted to push the idea that this helped their race. When in actuality, you're right. It doesn't help. I get the idea. Without the weaker ones, we're just a race of this, that, and the third. We're only nigga, find somewhere to put the weaker ones. It don't matter if you do it or somebody else do it. Those niggas are killable to somebody, right? All you're doing is exposing your lack of creativity when it comes to, using someone's strong points, finding someone's strong points. When it came to the Saiyans, they sent their little ones even out to planets that they could still get the job done, but they would be less threatened by others. So they still even took care of their own. That Saiyan pride is it's something. I get it. It's a couple of people who got sent away. If you were terrible, you got sent away because you ain't about to be operating a royalty and not know how to fight or whatever, this, that, and the third may be. And, Broly, if you're going to be too strong, hey, get that nigga up out of here. Plus, it was kind of substantiated in the fact that Broly was going to eventually become so strong he'd be a threat to the universe. It is what it is. But when we talking about Invincible, man, I don't know, man. I think there are a lot of things they failed at in trying to copy that damn likeness. Look, man, the power scaling, which is what everybody is talking about right now, is absolute ass. I heard Omega Mark say something one day. People was talking about power scaling Dragon Ball. He said he hate power scaling, but to humor him, he'll power scale. He says he really hates that. He wish they just pick up a comic book. Now, what this meant to me when he said that was not that he hates power scaling, but he hates when people power scale Dragon Ball Z high. Because he then says, you know what? Forget it. Let's power scale. And he's power scaling, but it's like, you do nothing but power scale. People don't want Dragon Ball power scaling, and they don't want to substantiate the multiplication and the mathematics, they don't want to get into what the logic behind the power level all the way up to the point where it stopped being an aspect. They don't want to get into that. They don't want to, because all the way up to the point where it did stop being a thing in the show, it was basically telling enough. Look, man, Roshi could destroy the entire moon. In Dragon Ball Z and the Raditz Saga, he ain't have nothing but a power level of 200. So if we talking all the way with billions of power level, man, I think most people are marked out immediately, right? Mark is consistently getting dropped, and this is what I hated about it in the very beginning. They love to make Mark, T said something about this and I agree. They love to make Mark tough on the people with no power. So if we talking about Night Boy, you know what I'm saying? You talking about Night Boy, Darkwing, Protege, whatever. He didn't mind being tough and flexing how strong. You have no idea what I'm capable of. And I hated that line. That line made me almost quit Invincible. I was like, he's bugging me because he's being tough on this guy and holding back on Angstrom. And you know what I mean? Not to say he didn't hold back on Night Boy. But my main thing was, you're flexing, bro. You haven't earned the right to flex. You always want to flex on the people that are extremely weak. I get it. I wouldn't like no D.A. Sinclair neither. But for some reason, it's bugging me to see Mark be like, just shut up talking, right? In actuality, even though I've forgiven Omni-Man, to be honest, I wish the show was still about him. I can't help but say, well, you forgave Omni-Man. Well, of course, that's his father. Exactly. So stop being a hypocritical little dweeb. You know, I get it. D.A. Sinclair is like, bro, you're turning people into, you know. But it's clearly, we clearly choosing. I wouldn't rock with no D.A. Sinclair neither. Mark is not doing what he needs to do.